Right, hello, lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where today we have two big things to talk about. One is the situation regarding international players heading off to duty at the end of January and start of February, and number two is the situation regarding Stephen Welsh. Before we go any further though, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help support the channel grow, and I would be forever appreciative if you guys help do that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as we're all aware, the Japanese government have given the green light to the Japanese Football Association that they can call up Japanese players currently playing in foreign countries, based on the premise of high public interest. So effectively what it means is now that the Japanese FA have the ability to call up Kyogo, Daisen, Rio and Yusuke from Celtic for their two World Cup qualifying matches on the 27th and 1st of January, which effectively rules them out of three of Celtic's clashes. A home match to... Pardon me. It's Hearts away, Dundee United then at home, and then the home match at the Glasgow Derby. So that is quite annoying, but it doesn't end there. Tom Rogic almost certainly would be called up to the Australian squad, the Socceroos, for our World Cup qualifying matches on the 27th and 2nd of January, ruling him out of those three fixtures as well. Then there's also the signing of Riley McGree. Now, if we did sign Riley McGree, it's pretty much expected that he as well would be called up for those two qualifying matches, and that leaves Celtic 6 players short for those three fixtures, and I'd say during that period of time, at least 4 of them would be starting for Celtic. You know, you could easily Kyogo and Rogic are 100% starters for Celtic. You can make the claim that by that point, Daisen will be week in, week out starting for Celtic. Then you could also make the claim that due to Turnbull's injury, either Riley McGree or Rio Hatate would be filling that void. So 4 starters would be leaving the club, and 2 other crucial rotational players as well in that mix. So what are Celtic's options? Well, we have 2 clear-cut options, and there's nothing more, nothing less. So 1, Celtic cop the losses. You know, we understand we're losing players, but we cop it on the chin. We play those matches with our strongest possible lineup, with our players out. Or number 2, we apply for fixture postponement for those 3 matches, since we have 3 or more players out due to international duty. And to me, the latter seems the smarter option, and it also seems the smarter option to King Kenny Dalglish, who said in the Sunday Post during an interview that at the end of the day, this season's Premiership title has a Champions League pot of gold worth 35 million riding on it, and all clubs must do what they feel is best suited to them. So why should Celtic not ask for a postponement if there is an option available for them to do so? It's a valid argument, and I completely 100% back it. Why play 3 matches that could really set the tone for your season and really make an indent on where you're going to finish in a season so crucial to both Celtic and Rangers? Why play 3 matches when you have a depleted squad due to powers out of your control? Celtic won't block the players going out on international duty. Andrew's already confirmed that, and that is the sensible option to do. There's no point doing that and causing strife between international teams and domestic teams. Obviously, the final decision lies in the hands of the SPFL. They can either accept the postponement and they can reschedule those 3 matches later in the season, or they can reject the proposal, and we have to go into the 3 matches with a depleted lineup. But look, if you look at it from a completely neutral standpoint, and that's what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to look at it from a completely neutral standpoint, going to take away the fact that I'm Celtic daft, going to take you're going to take out any of the broadcasting issues or any other third-party influences that might have on this decision. And the ethical and fair thing to do is to postpone these matches. The rule states a team can apply for fixture postponement when 3 or more players are missing. Now, Celtic won't just have 3 players missing. They'll have at least, you could say at the very minimum 4, and at the maximum 6 6 players missing. That's double the requirement needed to apply for it. And a team that's missing 6 players, and which 4 of them are starters, it's quite unfair to make them have to play 3 games that can be so crucial to their season. I think it's unfair if Celtic do apply and it gets rejected. I personally think it's an unfair call. I don't think it's the ethical thing to do. But like I said, once we apply for it, it's out of our hands. But look, you got to look at it from both sides. And if we do have it rejected, it's not the end of the world. You know, we still have Jota, who's returning from injury. He will be fit for those matches. We'll have Jack and Marcus, who will really need to step up. I have faith in him that he could do if called upon. Then there's also Forrest we have in the front 3. So the front 3, it certainly won't be as strong as possible, but it won't be the end of the world there. The issue is in the midfield. I see if Riley McGree, Rio Hatate, Tom Rogic, and Yasuki are all called up, we are kind of stuck in the midfield. We'll have Callum McGregor and Nir Baton as 2 regular midfielders that we regularly play, but we don't have an attacking midfielder because Turnbull's injured. So we're kind of in the mud in that case. So we'll have to play it by ear and see how that comes along. So watch this space on that. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I think Celtic will apply for fixture postponement. I think it's the sensible thing to do. Might as well apply, because if we can get it postponed, it's the best possible scenario. But now, into the second half of the video we go, and Stephen Welsh is apparently the subject of a second mammoth £1.5 million bid from Serie A club Udinese, according to The Sun. Now, this could just be The Sun absolutely stirring the pot. You know, they could be just moving their finger around, moving the spices, stirring the absolute pot again, like they are very, very famous for doing. But regardless, if the number is true or not, £1.5 million, the number can't be far off, and it is an absolute ludicrous fee for our 21-year-old centre-back. Seriously? £1.5 million. That's how much they are valuing Stephen Welsh at. I cannot believe that. Honestly, I'm shocked. It baffles me. £1.5 million. You think you'll get anywhere trying to sign Stephen Welsh for that much money? Seriously, I would not let Stephen Welsh go right now for anything less than £15 million. If Rangers can get £16 million for Nathan Patterson, I would take no less than £15 million for Stephen Welsh, plus some sell-on clauses, because you could make a fair hefty amount from a second transfer like a Van Dijk. He's a homegrown talent. You guys may disagree with me on this next point, but I can seriously see him being a future captain of, I can see him being the captain of Celtic Football Club in the future. Maybe not the near future, but certainly once he's gotten a bit more experience and cemented himself as a regular first-team starter. And the club see him as part of their future as well. He recently signed a contract extension. He's staying at Celtic until 2025 as per the contract. And look, you know, he might not be a regular starter for Celtic. Okay, he might not be in the team week in, week out, especially because you have to consider we have Cameron Carter-Vickers, who has been our best centre-back all season, Carl Starfelt, who Ange shows a lot of faith in, very reluctantly, and we also have Chris Julian now returning from injury, but I have no doubt in my mind, you know, come the next few years, he will be our starting centre-back, without a doubt. Who he may be partnering, not too sure. Hopefully Carter-Vickers. If we say maybe 3 years down the line, 2-3 years down the line, hopefully Carter-Vickers, but we'll have to wait and see. Because people forget he is still only 21 years old, you know. Because the reason people forget is because he shows that composure and calmness of someone 10 years older than them. Not to mention, he's had so much first-team experience already in such a short career. And frankly, £1.5 million is an absolute insult to someone like Stephen Welsh, and it's an insult to Celtic that Udinese value one of our most talented prospects at the club at only £1.5 million. And personally, I think the club view it the same way. I think they will not entertain any further bids from Udinese, and I don't think they'll be selling it. Reports have actually been suggesting Celtic have put a refuse to sell on him. They are not listening to any offers, and that is the right thing to do, because he's a player for the future. He's a homegrown boyhood fan of the club. It'd be an absolute mistake to let him go for anything less than £15 million at this given time. But Look, I think when the rumours came out, I was never worried about him leaving. You know, I don't think that was the issue. I think once I saw the fee, though, I was just so taken aback and annoyed by seeing how lowly these foreign clubs are valuing him, because he's got the potential. He's already shown he's got the talent. And I just don't get why he's being valued at £1.5 million. Whether it's the Sun making this up and, like I said, stirring the pot, or whether this is an official offer of £1.5 million for a permanent transfer, get lost, Udinese. Honestly, that's what I've got to say. But that is all from me. So leave in the comments below, what do you think Celtic should do regarding the players who are leaving on international duty? Should we apply for postponement, or should we just cop it on the chin? What do you think of Stephen Welsh? What do you think would be a fair and reasonable price to sell him off at? I stand by my remark. If Rangers can get 16 million for Nathan Patterson, we can get at least, I would not sell Stephen Welsh for anything less than 15 million. I don't want to sell him at all, but if a hefty amount of money came in, it'd be hard not to refuse it. But that is all from me. So until next time, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, hail, hail.